1, 2, 3, 4. don't. Oh my God. Can you even believe we're here? Welcome to the Bottom of Glass Nation show. It's Tuesday, January 30th. Yes, the jar over here, I can't get into it. I tried to go to Streamlabs. Streamlabs wouldn't let me in, and there was some weird shit going on, so I just punted on it. That is not the main concern. That is not the main focus of tonight's agenda anyway, if you please. So, yeah, we made it back from Vegas. I think we had a head count of so many getting in, and I think that mission came back. So I think we were short just a few people. I think that's pretty good when you go to Vegas and you only lose 3 or 4 people in your party. I think that's fine. Well, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except for the shit that is on everyone's cell phones. And believe me when I tell you there's some things we cannot show you. No. And there's some behavior that if you pay me the $50 that I've ransomed you, I will not tell them. Yeah, this is a ransom. I'm holding the information, or a blackmail. I'm holding it. If you give me the $50, I won't tell them what you did, and you know who you are. Except for Josh. His shit was so funny. No amount of money. I have to talk about Josh. Let me do something here for the missus. Okay, so yeah, the intro. Welcome to the Bottom Glass Nation show. I am not drinking tonight. I'm still kind of cloudy. The whole weekend has turned into a big blur, and so I'm not drinking tonight. I'm drinking some refrigerated Hawaiian water out of a pink straw, as you might have noticed. Ashley, I don't know where Ashley is, and I've heard from Ashley in a long time. Staff member Ashley, you need to change the intro, because now the intro talks about Las Vegas, and it's over. It's done. If you didn't go, you didn't see anything. Now, we publicly put out the picture of the group shot, one of the group shots. I didn't put that for members only. I thought everyone should get to see what they missed, because everyone was invited. It was not a members only invitation. It was for everybody. We had a pretty good turnout there. And this year, I think everyone would agree, was better than last year by a lot. And last year was better than the year before. Why? Because we're learning what to do and what not to do. So I do have some pictures. I'm going to scroll through them slowly. Gen X Mom, are you here? Does your microphone work?
I am here. Can everybody hear me?
I think everybody can. The light is green. The tramp is clean.
Before you get to your pictures,
yeah,
our own Sweets got her red one tonight.
No, her big red one?
Yes, the one she's been waiting for.
So she got her big red one. Wow.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, Shannon Brigode. Her name's Shannon Brigode, but I still say Brigode for some reason. She said she totally missed the picture. You know, the group shot that we did at the end of that evening when they were trying to kick us out, and we kind of all said, hurry, let's get a picture. Shannon wasn't the only one. There was a few people. I want to say there was 5 or 6 people that didn't get in that picture. So that would have the picture was big enough as it was. If you guys saw it, we put it out there on social media, but there was a few that missed it. There was. And what was worse is we were trying to figure out today what everybody's name was, because I couldn't remember it. I'm going, okay, that was this guy. And then you'd say, no, that was that guy over here. And then I showed the picture to staff and said, who remembers the names? And they said, and then someone would say, oh, this girl's name was Sue. And then 2 other people would say, no, her name wasn't Sue. It was this. So apparently the alcohol won the day. Apparently alcohol won the description chart. So I posted the pictures with the clearest recollection I could find. And I begged, if I get a name wrong or you know someone, please tell us. Because there was so many names and so many faces, and it was all a big blur of drinking. Because everybody handed me a drink. I think everybody who came up and said, I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to have a drink with the general. So everybody did. I'd get done talking to someone with a drink and take a shot, and then someone would walk up and hand me a shot and take a drink with me. I'd get done talking to them, and someone would walk up with a drink. Needless to say, there was no shortage of keeping the general internally lubricated in this particular event. All right. So, yes, Shannon, I think you did miss that picture, and I do miss the fact that you weren't. But there was others that missed it, too. You weren't alone. So there was stuff. Is there anything you want to tell me in the sheets right now? Is there anything going on yet?
Yes, there is. Charles Clark says, looks like a good crowd in photos that we members received awesome pics.
It was. I will tell you this. There was no assholes there other than me and staff. But it was good people all the way around. Some people had, and I mentioned this in a speech, some people had scrimped and saved. They cashed in their vacation days it was a very humbling experience to be able to hang out with these people and find out as much as you can about them. And I did try. I tried to talk to everybody there, at least for a few minutes, to get them know them a little bit better. And and Two Bear really did. Two Bear and Trippy, they went to everyone. And Mike Perkins did too. I saw Mike walking up to everybody. But Trippy was funny because you know that the main event, the VIP event, remember that shirt that Trippy was wearing? It was like this bright blue. It almost looked like there was batteries, and it was so bright you knew that he had to recharge his AA batteries to wear this shirt. But you could see him going. You could spot him in the crowd. The whole room, when it was dark and the lights were going, the music was bumping, and everybody, you could see Trippy, and he was going all around. He worked the room pretty well. Got to everybody.
Would you like me to continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
You went off with you said wanted me to do the sheets, and then you went off on your own somewhere.
That's what I do best.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
We have a new member tonight.
Who is our new member tonight?
Miss All Right W with me, maybe?
All right with me?
I'm assuming.
Because there wasn't enough vowels. All right with me?
Yes.
Mrs. All Right
Brand
with
new
me.
member.
Her picture is a bottle of hooch, too, it looks like.
Nice.
Or syrup.
Kalosh says, welcome back. Facebook, Dwayne Kearns, did you and Gen X Mom ever go on the high roller? I'll check out that weird spear. That thing creeps me out. We've done the high roller. That's the...
Oh, the Ferris wheel.
That's the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
We've done that.
We did.
I went and checked out the spear on Sunday night, up close and personal.
Why
That was kind of
saying
cool.
spear with a T?
Spear. I don't know. Don't go there.
You said it twice. You're going, I saw the spear. I'm thinking,
spear.
what?
Sphere.
Sphere with an F.
Sphere.
Sphere.
Whatever. That round thingy. And Matthew Cole asked, did Gen X Mom get her spa in Vegas? I did not. There wasn't any time.
Well, and truthfully, when we did have a window in a morning for you to do it, you declined because not only was it going to push the window of time, you said you wouldn't be worth anything the rest for hours.
No, and we had something going like every day.
And it slows you down, like you get all relaxed and you're just wound down.
Yes.
So you're not really, so that would have, not only could we would have had a hard time fitting it in.
Yes.
But it would have made you worthless for hours afterwards. So I got that.
So I'm going to do it here in town. Then I'll be good.
What?
Yes. Mrs. Fort Watton gifted 5 memberships to Grateful Ed, Michael Frazee, Wheezy16, Chris Wilson, and Kelly B69. And Jeffrey Montgomery says, I hope the weigh-in today wasn't too bad, and I hope you had a lot of fun.
I actually weighed in I didn't weigh in today. I weighed in right before, and I didn't post this yet because I was having trouble getting into the studio today for various reasons. But I actually did grab the scale on my way out. I lost 1 pound. There was a lot of food and a lot of walking. There was a lot of alcohol and a lot of pushing myself to be on my feet. So I wasn't sure who was going to win that battle. Was the calories going to win, or maybe perhaps the exercise going to win? Turns out, overall, I lost 1 pound during Vegas. Yeah. So that was good.
All right, I got 2 more. House gave $5, said with a little Bravo guy. And David Hemphill, member for 12 months, got his big red one. Glad you all had a good time and got home safely. Thanks for all the amazing memories and laughs. Wouldn't trade my time here for anything. Song suggestion, Raise a Little Hell by Trooper, sorry.
Yeah, there's I pushed myself to straighten out some of the radio station. We had made some fatal mistakes on there. We had like 75 songs up on the radio station, kgxtradio.com, but it was only playing 7 songs. And then come to find out that if you didn't upload them correctly and they didn't tag correctly, they wouldn't play correctly. So right before we left for Vegas, I was up late the night before erasing everything and trying to put up, I think we got up to like 68 songs or so right now. But it was a mess trying to get there. But in case someone wanted to listen to it on their travels and their journeys, we did have some stuff up there. But the radio station is just coming along. We have a long way to go to get it to where it's fully functional, 100%. Along with, our own little promo commercials we're putting in there. We're trying to do some stuff for Two Bears Car Show. Be kind of nice for those things to play, remind people of what we're doing. So we're recording some of those, trying to filter them in. It's going to take a minute, but it's coming along. Getting a really good response from the radio station. Thank you guys who take time to click and write us those messages on the website. Appreciate that a ton. All right. So now we get to do time. Yeah, let's just go. Let me just jump into the stuff. These things are a little bit out of order. Okay, I will try to give you things in order as best I can. Now, when we drove to Vegas, some people flew to Vegas. Some people already lived in Las Vegas, which was convenient. And so the pictures. The first day we were there, the first morning we went to Omega Mart, which is this corny, weird indoor, like an Area 51 alien weirdness thing. And Omega Mart is like an escape room, but it's an escape building. Like you have to really know what you're doing. It's an intellectual thing. It's a fun thing. There's paths you can take and mysteries you can solve to unlock and do. And I did just the beginning of that with the grocery store part, and then I sat outside and waited. A lot of the people went all the way through it. But I had just as much fun sitting out in the Area 51, the dark area, with the music going, talking to some of the members that were there, just hanging out as much as anybody did. So that was Omega Mart. Fun fact on that, they built this area. It's called Area 15, really, not Area 51. This Area 15, and it's kind of an indoor mall type of situation with Omega Mart, this big adventure thing in there. They built it on the location where I used to work. Yeah. It was a car dealership there years and years and years ago, 30 years ago. And the car dealership's gone. And I know that because I went there a few years back and it was just a big, flat, empty, asphalt lot where the car dealership used to stand. And now there's this place. So that was the first place everybody went. There was a meeting there for people that got to town early. We got out there Thursday night. So Friday morning, we all went and did that. Anybody that was there early. Saturday was the race cars?
Yes.
Saturday morning was race cars, go-kart racing. Loud One, Ian Porteas, as you guys know him on Facebook and YouTube. He organized the whole thing. He paid for everything, got all the special races and everything and the trophies. I mean, he really went all out. And I got to tell you, that was one of the highlights of the entire weekend. Everybody was talking about what fun that was. And we'll get to that in a minute. I have a ton of pictures. I have more pictures right now that people have sent me than I could even show you tonight. So let me just bounce around through some of these and let me see what I can get covered here. And I'll try to put them in order, but if I don't, I'll tell you a story behind each one. I told you guys, sent you guys out if you guys were listening, if you guys were paying attention on Patreon, if you know about Patreon, those of you who are part of Patreon, you got an email about 45 minutes ago letting you know that we were going on tonight. Bottom of the Glass show is going to be a short show, not super long, but I let you guys know. So for those of you who didn't know, if you didn't get an announcement on YouTube, if you didn't get an announcement on Facebook, what you did get was you got a quick email saying, hey, here's what we're doing. If not, you need to be part of Patreon. Now, let me back up a second. There's another reason, and I'm sure Two Bears probably already put up the link by now. If not, Gen X Mom surely did for Patreon. But here's why. There's no good way to tell you guys when we are going to have a go live on the radio station. In other words, unless we're locked in to going live at certain time, a certain day, every day, which is very hard to do because we have so much going on, what if one of us, what if myself, what if I wanted to just jump on KGXT radio and go live for an hour? What if I just want to talk about some stuff for 1 hour or a half an hour show? Something comes up and I want to tune in. How would I let you guys know? Now, those of you that are listening to the radio station, of course, you hear the music fade out and then the DJ or the whoever's coming on comes on. But what if I just wanted to jump on there and just start talking? Patreon. Now, listen to what I'm telling you. That's the only way I can just send out an email saying, hey, I'm in studio and I'm thinking about clicking on the microphone. I'll be on in about 15 minutes or 10 minutes. But I can send an email to everyone on Patreon, just letting you know I'm going on. I'm not writing a book. I'm not selling you something. But there's no other way to let you know when random things are happening. So Patreon's going to be an instrumental part of KGXT Radio when we do stuff. We may have a guest come over to the studio and it's unannounced. I have no way of scheduling it. But if you're on Patreon, I could say, you're never going to guess who's in studio right now. We're going on the radio in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if you're on YouTube. It doesn't matter if you're on Facebook. There's no way to let you guys know. And it'll only be on the radio. It'll only be on KGXT Radio. So you won't see it on YouTube. You won't see it on Facebook. You won't see it on Rumble. We got to go that way. Yes, Gen X Mom.
We got $20 from Grateful Ed on PayPal. He said cheers.
My man, Grateful Ed. I'm going to drink right now, even though it's water out of a straw.
Hydrate.
I got to stay hydrated today. Anyway.
Got to catch up from the weekend.
I do. So just so you guys know, that Patreon link, you're going to hear about it because when we come back onto a show like this, I'll go, how many of you caught the show on the radio station earlier today? And everyone's going to go, what are you talking about? Well, I sent everyone an email, and then you guys are going to say, well, I didn't know. I wasn't part of that because you're not part of Patreon. I tried to goddamn warn you. Everyone who's already part of Patreon is holding their drink going, that's right, I'm already in. All right. So, yeah, there's the stuff. Now, let me see if I can get some stuff in the correct order here. Kind of Las Vegas folder. And I'll try to go backwards and see where we get here. So a little bit of, might be a little out of order, and I'm just going to touch on some highlights, and then that's all for tonight, because the rest of the week, the rest of the next 2 weeks, there is a ton of stuff coming, and I mean a ton of stuff. There's videos, there's pictures, there's stories. It's all going to be for members only on the sites. But for right now, anybody can see these pictures, and I'm going to highlight in some of the stuff. This is scratching the surface of what will come. There's just so much to talk about. But like I said, everyone would agree, this by far was the best one we've ever done. It really was. All right, for the 15th time, I'm trying to go back and do this again. We'll do it one more time. Scroll down here to the bottom, work our way to the top. Boom, 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 boom. Come on. Las Vegas. There we go. What's the first one? These aren't labeled, so I just kind of got to see what they are and go. All right. So the first one's me. Something that we did different this time than we'd ever done before was I decided to grab a microphone at the very beginning, and I wanted to get to know everybody. I wanted to walk around the room, get everyone's name, where they came from. You know, it's kind of a break the ice. Where are you from? What's your name? How'd you get here? Stuff like that. Two things happened. One, this turned out to be a really, really funny improv comedy skit, which was not intended to be. As I walked around the room and I was talking to people, and people got confused with their answers, but it was funny. But the other part was an unintended consequence of this was that everybody got to know everybody else. You know, in the beginning, everyone's like at a party. You get there and you're kind of sitting around, standing around, looking at everybody who's there, trying to see if you know anybody. But after they knew their names and where they're from, they're like, well, when we got back to the party, after I put down the microphone, people started interacting. Whoa, I just heard what you said. You're from Washington. My brother lives in Washington. And in the conversations, you should have seen the people begin to mix. It really worked out well. And thank you guys for all the nice compliments. My wife had no idea I was doing this. I just told her, I said, I'm taking the microphone and I'm going. And she goes, what are you doing? I said, you just got to trust me. She goes, no. What are you doing? And I said, I didn't warn you about this. Just let me do it. And then she kind of left.
Well, because I thought you were going to call me out for some reason. I thought, oh, man, I'm in trouble. I am so in trouble.
Is that why you kept moving around?
Yeah, I thought if I hid, you would know where I was.
You went over by the bar, then you were behind Two Bear.
I wasn't sure what was going on. I got a little scared. Can I fill in a few things real quick while you're
ruining my
mojo?
Go
Shush,
ahead.
just relax. Take a direct drink. Tamash has checked in. My dear and the best of the best general and the best Gen X mom. Hi, Tamash.
Tamash is our number one guy over in Israel. He grabs a weapon and stands the post, guarding the eastern border for all of us.
Brother Bruns, $50. Sorry to have missed Vegas. Here's to the studio fund. Loud One, $5. Monster effort with all of your walking, General. Proud of you, brother.
Boy, that about wiped me out, didn't it?
Yeah, and I have one more. Stand by. Yeah. I'm trying to get to it really quick. Mrs. Four is happily, I think she missed us. She's given memberships again. Papa Smurf, Dude, Mike, Go Smoke a Toad, Lord Itchy Crotch.
Lord Itchy Crotch.
All got new memberships.
That's funny.
All right, continue on.
All right, so that was the main thing there, and yes, my wife was nervous, but I think you would agree it turned out okay.
Yeah, it was great. I wish we had more time. There just seemed like we wanted to do so much in such a short amount of time.
Wait, for the whole weekend or that
all of the above. All of the above.
Because
Well,
the VIP event is what I'm talking about right now. You were happy with how the microphone thing turned out, right?
yes, it was great.
But we did run out of time. We needed another hour or two in there. Once it really got going, we just needed more time.
Yes, we did. It was crazy.
Next year, we'll try to plan that for next year. Also, the Red Rock has the most horrible, worst tasting pizza ever. Next event, we are never, ever ordering pizza for that event again. I don't care what we have to do, but pizza's off the charts. All right. So here's one from the room right there. This is Tori. This is my daughter-in-law and MarcyZavala.com. And for those of you who were part of MarcyZavala.com, you understand why I'm saying MarcyZavala.com. Yes, that's Dr. McDreamy's wife on the right, who's laughing her ass off at something that was said, and I don't know what it was. But that, like I said, working ourselves around the room. There's the shirt I was trying to tell you about. Trippy Dippy Pineapple, TDP.
Oh, that's the shirt we bought him.
Well, that's the shirt I was trying to describe.
Hold on. I bought him. You had nothing to do with it.
I'm sorry. Do you have a job?
Yeah, I have to take care of your ass.
Oh, my God. That doesn't pay very well, does it?
No, it doesn't. I need a freaking raise.
So Trippy, those of you who don't know Trippy, he's one of our most utility, wonderful staff members here, moderator, has kept the gaming channel alive for Gen X Talks purely on just strict willpower. He's done it on his own, and he's kept a lot of things going. He plugs a lot of holes that appear, the cracks in Gen X Talks. He fills them in nicely. He does a good job, and he won the trophy this year.
Yes, he did.
He won Staff Member of the Year, and it was it was maybe not the nicest trophy, a cheesy little plastic engraved, but the spirit of it was real. It was a real gesture of saying, hey, you deserve this. And I'm telling you, nobody deserves it more than TDP. Trippy Dippy Pineapple is the man, and he did a good job throughout this entire event. He showed up early. He stayed late. And it was a well-deserved award. That was really the beginning of the awards. We just wanted to give out that one. It turned into some silly other awards after that. Again, working the room and talking to everybody.
Do you see what he has in his hand there? He was in charge of the free drink tickets, if you notice.
He does have the ticket roll in his hand there. Yeah. I was wondering if the women that came up to me and said, is that true? Is what Trippy, he's got the drink tickets? And I said, yeah, Trippy's got the drink tickets. And she goes, do I have to show my boobs to Trippy to get a drink ticket? And I said, well, you don't have to, but if that's the rules he's put in place, who am I to argue? He's got the tickets, he's got the rules. So however that worked out, congratulations, Trippy.
Yep.
So this is another one. This is just kind of work in the room. You can see Josh Maddox there in blue, the kid. This is about half of the room. The bar is to the right. You can see Iceman there enjoying himself with his legs outstretched. So this is kind of how I think this was at the very beginning before we let everybody in. There was probably 10 people in the room before it got crowded, but this was the beginning of it, and the room goes farther to the left there, as you might have noticed in other pictures we posted. Before we got on the road, though, this was a shirt, just to show you guys my weight loss thing. This was a shirt that I couldn't even button. Trippy and Sammy bought me this shirt a year ago, and I couldn't force the buttons to even touch. Couldn't even come close. They were about 2 inches apart. Now, this was still too small for me to wear, but it just shows you that I am losing some inches. That was a big deal there. I think there was another one. Yeah, and then look how far my black shirt overlapped. It's like 6 or 9 inches of overlap, and so I am losing some there. That was when we were on our way out the door. I thought I'd share that with you guys. Also, you guys are, for those of you that are following along on the podcast, you know that one of my daughters is in relationship crisis mode right now with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend rode his motorcycle all the way over to the house like at 4 a.m, and they drove to work together. And this was the day we left. When I got out there to leave for Vegas, his motorcycle was there. And yes, that's the kid's dog. And when I looked over there, the dog did piss on his bike, which that's not a shocker. The dog pisses on everything. I just thought it was appropriate that the dog did piss on his bike. Yes, Gen X Mom.
The Sun Valley Fox has a message to the Gen X family. For those of you that asked, my brother, the Sun Valley Fox, and his wife came down with COVID a few days before the Vegas trip, which put them out for the weekend. But the Sun Valley Fox wrote, "Hi, sis. I apologize to the Gen X family for not being there. It sounds like a great time. I'm sorry I missed everyone that was there. Gen X family has a wonderful group of friends. Love you, sis."
I can't even tell you how many people asked about your brother.
I know. I got a lot too.
They kept coming up. Where's the Sun Valley Fox? Where's the Sun Valley Fox?
Yes.
So I'm like, he's not here. He didn't make it. Everybody wanted to know where's Dr. McDreamy, which one's Iceman, and where's the Sun Valley Fox. That was the popular questions of the evening. So yeah. Sun Valley Fox was missed.
Yes,
he didn't make it to that one, but it was a lot of people asking questions.
Oh, Mrs. Ford just asked if it's better. Yes, they are getting better. I spoke to them or texted them this morning, and they are getting better. So they're on the mend.
They're on the mend. So that was there we go. So the motorcycle thing. I thought it was kind of funny that the dog pissed on it. Yeah, it's just me. What do I know? Just a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert.
I got quite a few sitting here. If you want me to talk about it real quick.
Well, go ahead.
Jason Miller, member for 2 months. Good evening, Bottom of the Glass Nation. My wife and I can't thank Gen X Talks enough for treating us correctly at the Red Rock in Vegas. The rest of Vegas treated me like a $2 whore.
Who was that again?
That was, I'm sorry, Jason Miller. I went on to something else.
Yeah.
I was reading something else. Jason, I'm sorry. Jason Miller.
You guys don't understand this. When I'm talking to her and she's trying to do the sheets, I actually think she's listening to me, and she's doing this. She's click, 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 click. She's nodding. I have no idea what I'm saying. So by the time she's done with something, she's actually raced on to the next thing herself. Then she doesn't even know what she's talking about. Yeah.
Jeffrey Montgomery gave $10. General, you deserve a prize for losing weight during the trip. Treat yourself to something, whether a cheeseburger or a squirt pew to use on the kid. Oh, pew pew. Just not the radio or buzz. It's a treat. I think that's what he says.
Well, I just hope that my doctor didn't hear that. He would not reward me with a cheeseburger.
Coach Frank, member for 22 months. Way to go, Frank. Care E, member for 22 months. It was a great time, she said.
Wait, that's Care Butt, right?
Care Brat.
Care Brat, right?
Care Butt?
Care Butt. Is it Care Butt or Care Brat?
Brat.
Oh, I think I wrote butt in the picture. I think I wrote Care Butt. I thought that's what her name was.
Unbelievable.
Well, I don't know.
All right, loud one, $5, and have them put Crown at the damn bar.
I don't think I get to pick what's there, but you know what? You can live on Jack Daniels. Everybody lives on Jack Daniels.
Jeremy Johnson on Facebook says itchy crotch needs to cure that itchiness. Tamashkin, I cannot get it together
You're
tonight.
having trouble right now.
Gifted a membership to Bob K. MIT, Charles Clark. See?
What the hell, woman?
Charles Clark. I've been talking way too much this weekend.
We give you a few days off and you're all tongue-tied.
Charles Clark, $1.99. Gentlemen's Jack funds. Come on, members, fill the jar.
Yeah, that jar overfloweth right now for sure.
Kel Curry, I'm an extra member for 11 months. Facebook, Joe Flores, did he stand out front with the boombox?
He did not.
All right, I think, hold on.
Can I go back now to what I was doing? I have a show to do here.
I know. Kel Curry, I said Kel Curry. I'm just checking. I didn't know I was going to read these things. Okay, I'm good, go.
Yeah, but now you do
Oh, wait,
know.
no. KG. Just hang on. KG, member for 19 months. Glad Vegas was a success. Hope we can make it next year. Yes, KG and Mrs. T, I thought of you guys.
Were there last year. You guys would have really, really loved this year.
And Mrs. For Watt and $5. So did the daughter and her boyfriend make up?
I guess you'll have to tune into next week's podcast episode to find out.
All right. Your turn.
All right. So we'll go back to what I was saying, pretending it's important. So this is a picture of Sammy Joe. Now, hang on to that picture because here's what happened. So one of the first things we're doing there is we're getting everybody together for a staff dinner, and we figure out that where Gen X Mom has booked this staff dinner, it has a pretty strict dress code. Not black tie, but it's not casual. What they call it, business casual. So Trippy could not wear his shorts and his flip-flops. No. You had to wear something nice. Now, she forgot to pack my Levi's. So I had sweats. Not going to fly. Excuse me. So as soon as we start going, oh, shit, we're supposed to be there like in 2 hours. We're running around town trying to find me some Levi's to wear. All of a sudden, Trippy and Sammy Joe race back to their rooms because they're in completely casual clothes, hoodies and short pants. So that was a picture of Sammy Joe because she went and got casual. She looked really good. We ended up not going because not everybody could fit. Somebody, and I won't say who, forgot their underwear. That's how bad this trip was. I'm not saying they forgot it on purpose, but it is Las Vegas. So we all ended up going. Where did we end up going? We ended up going to, I think, Lucille's, right? For barbecue for that night?
Yes, I think so.
I think that's where we ended up. So this was Sammy taking a picture going, if this doesn't cut it for business casual, I'm out. Because this is all I brought. Nobody told me we were going to someplace super nice. And I think even Mrs. Ford looked it up. It was like $250 a person. So I'm really glad that it didn't work out because that would have been sort of expensive on the old Gipper here to say, hey, here's a staff dinner. Everybody's getting paid for from Gen X Talks. By the way, we're all going to be broke after this and we can just go home. All right, so I told you guys in the beginning, we all went to Omega Mart. This was Friday morning. We went to Area 15, and this is the hallway stuff outside, kind of where the lobby area or the mall area is, a lot of different stores, and this is Mike Perkins. Now, do you notice Mike Perkins? Now, this is a day before Two Bear arrived. Two Bear is in charge of Gen X Talk security, and obviously he can't be in charge of something when he's not there, so he enlists the help of Mike Perkins, which he's done before on several other occasions. Now, do you notice what's missing from this picture? Yeah, that's right. Gen X Mom. He had one job. Mike, you had one job. You were supposed to keep track of my wife. He comes scrolling out and going, well, I just, funny thing, I turned around for 1 second. She was gone. So, yes, he officially lost my wife. And I'm sure at some point she wandered back to where she was supposed to be. But I'm going to tell you that I think he got written up. I think when Two Bear arrived, they had a little sit down at a desk. And I think he got written up. He had one job. One. Don't lose Gen X Mom. And guess what he did? He lost Gen X Mom.
I wasn't that far away.
Well, I don't know what you were doing. I wasn't even in there. He comes out. You're not out. I'm like, where's my wife? He goes, funny story. She was just gone.
Man, I have to tell you, though, Mike Perkins was a trooper. We dragged him all over the Omega Mart. That poor tall man had to crawl through some pretty darn small holes that were, it was like an old playground thing. And he did fabulous. He was awesome. And so when we got out, we were all thirsty. And him and I think it was Sandy, picked up a drink. And I was like, oh, I don't want a soda. I just went about 10, 15 feet away.
Well, he couldn't
behind
see you
him
because he turns around. He's like, she's gone. It was noticeable. It was a noticeable absence there. So I think Mike is still on board with the security team, but I think he got a little talking to.
That was funny. There is a message in here, I have to say. Obi, who was in Vegas.
Obi.
Thanks, Gen X family, for the warmest reception in Vegas. Just left Vegas. He's the last one to leave, I think, and still on the I-15. So won't be typing much, but hello to all, especially the mod squad.
Yeah.
So he must be the last one to leave.
He's got to be the last one, except for the people that live there, of course. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I meant, yeah.
That was Mike Perkins. What else we got for a picture? They're not in order. Let me find out. Oh yeah. So I think I did a shot with almost everybody who came, but I know the women I did because they kept. This is Shush, and she comes up and she hands me a drink, and she's got a drink, and we took a shot together. And of course, you can see Loud One coming over the top, little Mr. Jealous. But I got to tell you, when your wife sees this. How could you not have a drink?
Oh, and that was in that arcade we found in the back corner of the Omega Mart. That was so much fun.
That was a really cool area to be in back there. In the Omega Mart, in this Area 15, there was a big arcade. They had video games, but they had pool tables, and there was drinks there. And Loud One was buying drinks. Loud One was great about buying drinks, but he was also loud about cussing out the drinks. He's like, $27 for a double shot of whiskey. Fucking guy. No, how does he say it? In a crazy Tasmanian voice, Hey, it's $27 for a couple of fucking drinks. Or I don't know. If you can understand me, then I'm not doing the imitation right. If you cannot understand me, then I'm nailing the accent perfectly. But that's what he did, was he drank and complained about the prices in that area.
Stuart Bailey just chimed in and said they have to get a GPS bracelet for me. Hey, Mike Perkins, Stuart Bailey, said he was going to put an AirTag on me next time.
That's right. He goes, I'm going to put an AirTag in her pocket where I can find her. So that was a fun place to go, too. Oh, look at Josh Maddox getting pulled over by the cops.
Yeah,
Sort of.
Joshy. Gen X mom had something to do with that.
Yeah, I heard about that you paid them like $20 to go harass him. So they put him in handcuffs.
To arrest him. I got him arrested.
Got him arrested. You put him in handcuffs and got the picture. That's probably the happiest day of Josh's life right there.
I have video, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we have that we just can't quite show you guys. But yeah, there's staff member Josh Maddox living up to the Gen X Talks reputation, one slutty cop at a time.
It was great.
All right.
Look at the guy in the background. Did you see the guy in the background?
He photobombed everybody.
But
Yeah.
look at, did you see his face?
Well, he's just making it
Look
fun.
at him.
Yeah, he photobombed it.
I have it. He was watching.
So here's another one. So there was, you guys know what the roulette wheel is, and that's where the dealer spins the ball and everybody places their bet at a big table. I prefer the mechanical one. I like it a little bit quieter. The pace is better. I like the people that are around. They're not screaming and yelling. Well, so I roll up there, and I was walking. I'm not bound to the chair, but it helps from time to time. And I kind of have a method to how I bet on roulette, and it's always successful. And so look at the kid. The 18-year-old kid is behind me, and he's learning how to bet roulette. Now he fell in love. He'd whisper in my ear. He'd go, "Okay, bet red, bet the first three, put some insurance on the green ones." And that was his thing. If he was escorting his old man around the casino, most of the times they left him alone. Sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes they'd come by and ask for his ID. But there we are again. You can see the kid behind me, and there's Sammy and Trippy and Josh. And we're playing that, what we call the flying saucer, because that's what it looks like. That was our roulette. Yes.
Mike Perkins just gave $25 on PayPal for the AirPod tracker so I don't lose mom at the car show.
Yeah, so gonna have to too. So let me tell you a story about Trippy Dippy Pineapple, because Trippy's he's kind of an asshole.
Oh, Trippy is not.
Yeah,
Bite your tongue.
No. So when you're looking at the roulette wheel, and this is whether it's you're playing the manual one with the dealer, or you play the automatic one like we were, there's a board that shows the past, I don't know, probably 30 numbers that have gone by. And if you guys have ever played roulette, and you play the automatic one or you play a live one, the zero green and the double zero green, they don't come up too often. You know, a lot of players will put insurance on those. They'll put like a one chip covering both, splitting them. They'll split the zeros, but you don't use it very much, and you don't have it very much. We sat down there, and there you can see 30 numbers that have been previously played, and there might be one green out of all, or maybe two, and they're really far apart. Trippy sits down and he starts betting green. And I'm like, dude, you should never bet green. I mean, that's not, it doesn't come up. Look on the scoreboard.
They want to know if he was drinking. First question, was Trippy
Of course he was drinking. So he's sitting there next to me, and Josh is next to me. I think Josh was to my right. Trippy was one more off to his side. And Trippy hits it again. And like three more hits it again. I start looking up there. Every fifth to eighth number is a green. It's a zero or a double zero. I'm like, what the fuck? I've been playing roulette for years. I've never seen that much happen. Never seen the greens appear that many times. And I'm flabbergasted. And there he is. You know, he's winning $18 every time. He's only spending 50 cents on it or something. He's winning either $18 or $36 every time he does this. And I keep telling Josh and Briggs and Trippy, dude, green doesn't come up that much. Zeros don't come up that much. The whole fucking time we were there. I should have taken a picture of the board. It was unreal. On this board of 30 numbers, there was like 9 of them that were greens, double zeros or single zeros. And normally you get 1, maybe 2. So that Trippy fucked up everyone's betting that night with his greens, because you're getting kicked in the balls every time you don't bet it. Yes, Gen X Mom.
Mrs. Four is dropping $25 trying to empty that jar, just so you know.
Well, I'll leave the jar up there, and we'll keep talking and go through it. So with my pattern that I do, and really what I do is I look for a pattern. And I was telling the kid, I say, well, look what, we haven't had a red number in a while. And he goes, okay, so I'm going to bet red. And also, when was the last time we had a really low red number? And he scrolls back. He goes, ooh, it's been like 20 numbers ago. That's right. So it's 20 numbers ago, low. So you start betting red and low red numbers and 1 through, 1 through 18, or the first section of 1 through, I think it's 13. And you start betting that pretty heavy, and all of a sudden it pops and you get paid quite a bit. That was you just look for a routine. You look for a pattern of something that's missing and what hasn't happened in a while. And like I said, everything got fucked up because of Trippy, because the fucking throw the thing in there and all of a sudden there's zeros popping up and greens popping up. And when Trippy wasn't there, it went right back to the normal flow of red and blue with once in a while the green. I got there one morning without him. There wasn't a green number on the board. Nothing. In 30 numbers, no green had come up. Trippy comes up, sits down, and out of the next 20 numbers, 4 of them were green ones. There she goes, blowing up that jar. Yep, and she fucking did it too. So yeah, that Trippy Dippy, man, and his fucking thing. I don't know how he did overall. He was way up. When I was left alone, I got my $20 bill up to about $300, and I think I gave most of it back. I don't know. I ended up right around $200 on a $20 bill. So that's how I did. But roulettes, the flying saucers, where I hung out. That was my gig. What else is in here? We got more pictures. I don't know who those two are, but one of them's really handsome and one of them's really pretty. So I'll let you guys figure that out. That was a shirt I've never worn before. She got me to wear. You guys used to see me wearing a black shirt, and she had me kind of dressed up there. Another picture. So in Omega Mart, they sold weird things. Here's one that was a gallon of plausible deniability. That's right. If you can't read it, it's plausible deniability, to which everybody had one of those. Like, we need gallons of this. We need to bring home. Is there a 5-gallon bucket of plausible deniability? Because if Generation X ever needed something, that was something desperate. Abso-fucking-lutely desperate, but they only sold it in gallons, so it didn't go very far, especially when you're in Vegas. Here's another good one. You guys know I drink the 5-hour energies. They had a 96-hour energy. 96-hour energy. I'm like, no fucking way am I taking that. Of course, Gen X Mom bought me some. Josh Maddox fucking downed one. He cracks the lid, and I go, holy shit, you just tried? He goes, yeah. I go, well, how did it taste? He goes, like a shitty 5-hour. So... But in this Omega Mart, there was weird things for sale. This was one of them. So this was part of the store issue. Inside of Omega Mart, this was a fan. I don't know. He was not there for the meet and greet. He was not there for the VIP. He just was walking through the Omega Mart when we were there, and he's like, "Hey, I know you guys. You guys are Genesis Talks. Can I get a picture?" And so this gentleman got a picture. I don't know where he was from or what he was doing, but he did recognize us, so we got a picture just like he did. What else is in here? Same guy, same things. Pick another one. So in that area of Omega Mart, in that mall area, there was a pool table, and there was several pool tables, probably 6 or 8 of them, and the video games in the background, and people are drinking and talking. And Sammy Joe, well, you played Josh. Did you beat Josh?
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
You beat Josh. 2 out of 3.
Yes, I did.
Well, Sammy Joe and I had a bet. We played a game of 9-ball, and whoever lost had to take off their shirt.
No, show boobs.
Oh, yeah, show boobs. Sorry, not quite take off.
Jeez Louise.
Well, it was about the same thing.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, we're getting there. Let's not jumping the gun on that. So there's me standing behind Sammy trying to size up how she's playing there. And let's just say she lost in dramatic and spectacular fashion. But she was trying, and I was just scoping in on what she was doing, so that's why I was standing behind her. Wasn't causing any problems. This is Two Bear and his lovely wife, Mrs. Two Bear, because she didn't give me permission to say her name. I got to tell you, sometimes you women, and all of you women, are the most dingy people on the planet. Now, I know you can say it's his wife. I know you can say that it's Sun Valley Fox's wife. I know you can say it's our daughter-in-law. I know you can say it's marcyzavala.com. But I'm telling you, sometimes you guys come up with the most dingy sayings. We were at dinner, and I'm going to tell the story. We were at Lucille's, and Two Bear's wife is sitting there, and she was sitting next to Trippy. And kind of a running joke in our family is we don't say Trippy anymore because now we know a Trippy. There is a Trippy. You can't say, well, man, I was watching this TV show and it was totally trippy. No, you can't say that in our family because there is a Trippy. So we have to say wild. We have to say it's really cool or it's wild or it was bizarre. You can't use the word trippy because there is a Trippy Pineapple. He's our friend. He's on staff. So we were sitting there at dinner and she was sitting next to Trippy and she was talking about telling some story, and she goes, it really was trippy. And I said, hey, you can't say that. You got to say wild. And she says, why? I said, well, because Trippy's sitting right next to you. And, it's the same joke I'm always telling. And she, it's a true story. She looks over at me, and she looks over at Trippy, and she looks back at me, and she goes, oh, is his name copyrighted? Can I not say that? Is it he copyrighted his name? Okay. Dead serious. All of you women do this. There isn't one woman out there who doesn't have moments like this where you're joking around, you're saying something, and then you guys say the most off-the-wall stuff ever. So that was her moment. And I could probably list one for every chick out there. But since her picture came up, yes, Mrs. Two Bear, Trippy's name is copyrighted, and don't you dare say it, or you owe him $1 every time you say his name. All right. And even if you say it in context, it's still not any good. What else was there? So this is in the Yard House. We had one of our dinners there. Trippy Dippy Pineapple Sammy. And what I did was something I tried to do the entire time we were there. I was at the other end of the table with my wife and Loud One and Shush, and I went all the way to that end of the table. There was an open spot at the very end, and I was sitting next to Sammy and Sandy. The beautiful young lady on my shoulder is Sandy, and she's in here.
Sandy
tonight.
is in chat right now.
Sandy's in chat. And I made it a point of just getting to know Sandy. And I did that with several people. I just wanted to take a minute. So I left I ate my dinner down there. I ate my dinner down at this end of the table. I stayed down at this end of the table, and I really learned a lot about Sandy. I did that with several different people, and I am the better man for listening to these people and understanding how they got here, what the little bit of their background, their story. I wish I would have had time now to do it with everybody because everybody has an interesting story on how they got to Gen X Talks and what caused them to show up in Las Vegas. And Sandy was one of the ones I spent time with, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. I'm thankful to whoever took this picture because, yeah, it really happened, and I was really there. So thank you, Sandy, for putting up with me for a couple hours at dinner that night. So we went to Omega Mart on Friday, and we went to the racetrack on Saturday morning. Now, I had to leave the racetrack and go pick up Iceman from the airport, but these are our racers. These are some of the people that were racing. There's a few onlookers. I don't know that I'd get everyone's name right. Starting from left to right, it looks like Shoeless is there. I can't tell. Is that Mike Perkins, the next one?
Yeah, Mike Perkins.
The kid, Josh is in blue up on top.
That's Sammy and Trippy, Two Bear and Mrs. Two Bear.
His wife. Who's in purple? Is that
Sandy?
Sandy.
Then Shush and Loud One on the top.
Yep.
Then Krista, Rose, and Bob in front. David Black.
David Black sticking his head in the middle between Bob and Krista.
That's V. That's Obi's wife, Dr. McDreamy, and Marcy. And Obi is standing there on the one side.
Who's standing next to Dr. McDreamy?
Marcy Zavala? Oh, marcyzavala.com.
There you go. Got to say that. So these were our racers, and it looks like, as you said, Obi was on the end, right?
Yes.
And he's the one who just said he just chimed in on the road, right?
Yes, yeah, he's on his way home.
He's the one who just chimed in. These were our racers. Again, this entire event was put together by Loud One, and it was one of the highlights of the whole week, and it came off really well. This is just another picture. Mary Mathis and Gen X Mom got a quick snapshot. This was indoor go-karts. They were electric. It was a controlled environment, and they were fast. When I sat down and watched these guys race in the final heat, those go-karts can get up and boogie. I'm telling you. Where was I here? Oh, this is another one. Krista Rose and Bob McKinley. They were having a good time there. Now, did Bob race?
Yes, he did.
I think someone said They could, because he had an oxygen tank with him. He just jumped in the go-kart with his tank.
Yep.
Put it between his legs. Like, fuck it, I'm going.
Krista rolled up the cord and like I don't know how they connected it, but that was so
He just fucking
awesome.
said, you're not gonna hold me back. It's just you just got the fucking bottle and the cord, and I'm fucking going. Give me the keys. Let's go.
They are the sweetest couple, and he had a blast. I asked him, and he said he was just having the greatest time. So
I had a wonderful time getting to know them a little bit better too. Wish I'd had more time. So these are the jabronis. They weren't even the top 3 racers. David Black, Two Bear, and of course Loud One, since he sponsored the whole event. He had to stick his mug in there on the sideline, leaning in like that. But I guess you're allowed to do that when you're the sponsor of the program. There he did it again. He leans in. David Black won first place.
Two Bear was
got
second.
MarcyZavala.com got third place. And I'm not sure what Loud One's even doing in that picture, but there he is again.
he didn't place at all. That was a thing.
Yeah, he didn't do so well. So there's our top 3. Now, there's a story about the winner's circle. So this is the second year in a row that we've done go-karting. Different places each time, but David Black technically won last year. And I didn't understand how. And this was kind of a complicated thing because I had to sit the kid down, Gen Z kid, and said, okay, I didn't go to the go-kart thing last year. Who won? He goes, well, Loud One won a race. I won a race. I think David Black won a race. And he says, but David Black had the fastest time. So technically, we're listing David Black as the winner of 2023 and the winner of 2024 in the go-kart event. He's won 2 years in a row. And then someone had mentioned to me that Loud One technically had the fastest time overall. So I went back to the kid and I said, well, how did that play out? And this is what the kid said. Don't be mad at me. We're just talking here. We're having a good time. He says that last year it was really hard to keep the vehicles on the track. The go-karts were very powerful and they would slide around quite a bit. So you couldn't go full speed because the back end would kick out and you'd lose traction. Loud One, on one of his races, he got a 2-seater. He put someone in with him as a passenger, which was extra weight, held the go-kart on the ground, and he got the fastest time. Now, I'm assuming it was probably a little more powerful go-kart because they're 2-seaters, but the kid said the weight was the big issue. He goes, so you can't count that because when he was in a single go-kart like everybody else, he did not have the fastest time. So, falling back to that again, we have to go right now. Maybe it's in dispute, maybe it's not, but it looks like David Black has won 2 years in a row. He has found a way to be on top. So there's more stories about that, but I'm not getting to them right now. But we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it that right now David Black is the winner. He received the fastest time last year and won a race, and he was definitely the undisputed winner this year. This is another one from inside. There's Trippy in his big, bright blue pineapple T-shirt. You can see the bar in the background. Some of the people wandering around there. The kids to the right. This is about, like I said, about a third of the room you can see there. I didn't really get a good shot of everything. This goes back a little further. Some pictures came our way. This is from the Gen X Talks barbecue. That's my main man, Josh Maddox there, entertaining all of us with some background noise, which was always wonderful. Now, here's a picture I had not seen before. This is Sammy and Low Torque. I had never seen this picture. Low Torque was trying to make it out to Vegas this year, but ran into some complications and couldn't get there. But I'm sure we'll see more of his ugly mug as time goes on. Now, this one, I'm not sure what's going on. This is my wife, and as usual, all of a sudden, she starts dancing. She lets loose, and she's singing, and she's carrying on, and someone thought it was clever enough to take a picture. So there's my beautiful wife doing what she does best. What else is there? This is kind of a big picture. You see my wife to the right. I think that was Iceman. He was to the right. I'm sitting there in the center, and there was more people in the background. This is just a section of the Gen X Talks barbecue. You guys were invited, but not everybody went. And there he is, Mike Perkins. Now, this is Mike Perkins before he got in trouble for losing Gen X Mom. But I put this picture in here for a reason to remind me of something. Mike Perkins lives in the Reno area. He made it to the Gen X Talks barbecue. He made it to the Reno event. He made it to the Las Vegas event. Mike Perkins, as far as I know, and I could stand corrected. Maybe Loud One follows along this, but Mike Perkins is the only extra, the only member who has signed on for every subscription. He's $1 in Patreon, $1 on the General's Lunchbox on Facebook, $1 in YouTube, $1 on Instagram. I think there was one more. He said he tells people, he goes, you can be a member of every subscription site that Gen X Talks has for $6. I think he's the only guy who's done that. So to his credit, I'm going to have to give him a little pass right there. Mike, you can lose my wife for $6. Since you pay the $6, you can go ahead and lose my wife whenever you want. Thanks, buddy.
What happened to the Vegas pictures? Why are we going back in time?
Well, I guess we're not. That's all I was showing of the Vegas pictures.
That was it?
There's 7,000 Vegas pictures.
Oh, man.
Look, we're already out of time. It's already been an hour. You didn't even let me finish what I was trying to do.
Well,
you have sheets. Go read your sheets, girl.
All right. My sheets are Jesse over on Facebook. So Mike Perkins was there to stare at Gen X Mom all night. Lucky bastard.
Yeah, and then he lost her because he wasn't looking at her. His eyes wandered. And she disappeared.
Facebook, Cody Lawrence. What was your best memory of the Vegas trip, General?
I think it was the VIP event with that horrible, tasteless cardboard pizza. It was when everybody was there and we did the introductions. That turned out to be so funny and brought everybody together because as soon as I was done talking, everybody meshed together. It just solidified why we were all there and what we were doing. It was a whole lot of fun. We hadn't done that before. And that for me, because I really was nervous that I was fucking it up. I was really nervous that I was just bombing on trying to grab a microphone. And it went on for a long time, went on 20 minutes. But getting the feedback from everybody that we should have done that every year. That was just one of the things we added that made this trip so much better than the other years. For me, it was getting to know all of you guys, and some of you more than others. I got to talk to Shannon Brigoday. It was kind of funny. I went back to the room. She went back to her room. Everybody was out finishing their evenings, and I went back early because I wasn't feeling well. And we're talking through Discord, and she's like, I went back to my room. But I got to know her a little bit better, too. So that was a big thing for me, was getting to know everybody. What about you, Gen X Mom? What'd you like?
I really like, it seems like the meet and greets get better every year. I think that was my favorite. I think just sitting and talking with everybody and putting faces to names was fabulous.
Yeah.
But you really missed me on Sunday night doing something crazy.
I did, huh?
Yeah. Stepped out of my comfort zone, but we'll talk about that later.
All right.
So Tiff says nobody else from Gen X Talks was racing Loud One when he took Mrs. T in the 2-seater go-kart. Supposedly that's what she said.
Yeah, but they still tracked his time, which is why, because I think Loud One had said he had the fastest time.
Now Loud One says $10. My fastest lap was on my own, which put me in the top 500 times ever. My dual rider was Mrs. T, where I was in top 100 fastest times ever and was still faster than everyone in our group.
That's not true, Loud One. Everybody disagrees with you on that one. You can have your drunk Tasmanian, Australian, got to drive on the wrong side of the road. I get it. But it wasn't just the kid who said that your fastest time wasn't up there. I'm just telling you, but I did want some clarification. And David Black would have been the first one to tell me, and he wasn't even him. I didn't even ask him because I didn't want to get an opinion from the guy who was going to potentially be in first place. So his opinion didn't count.
Loud One gave another $5. This year, Josh Maddox actually had the fastest lap, but the 6 fastest laps were within 0.2 of a second from each other. Was a blast.
Well, this year was last year. Josh Maddox ran into everybody. He crashed into every person on the track because everybody who came back, I said, "How was the race? How'd you do with go-karts? Was it fun?" Every person says, "Yeah, fucking Josh Maddox ran into me." Every single driver had a Josh Maddox story. This year,
he was kicking butt this year.
Josh didn't run into anybody. Everybody was flying. Josh no attention drawn to Josh. And then in the very last race, the very last race to see who was going to be crowned champion. On the first turn, Josh wiped out everybody. David Black took off, and nobody caught him. So even this year, Josh fucked it up. Josh fucked up the whole damn thing.
I don't think he did. Don't mess with my Josh, okay?
Oh, stop. You know what? I don't know whether you love Josh because he's a wonderful human being or whether you have pity on him because he fucks up all the racing. I don't know which.
Well, I do have to tell you, at the end of Sunday night when these youngins were bringing me back, I looked back at Josh and I go, Josh Maddox, Josh, fuck you. That's what I told him. So I don't know how he feels about that, but
he may not like you anymore. Maybe that was his frustration
I know.
too.
Yukon Cornelius, member for 19 months, Legion of X.
Just so you guys know, there are different tiers on YouTube. There's an extra, there's Legion of X, there's something else, then there's KGXT is the top membership you can donate to. I got to be honest with you guys. I normally put everything out there for all members. I don't hide stuff from lower paying members versus high. I don't do that. Everything we put out is for all members at all times, except I got to tell you, there's a few things that I've been scrolling through in pictures and videos from Vegas. There's a couple things I may just put up for the top tier members because those are, I don't know that I want those out there at all, but if we're going to put them out there, I think we'll keep it in a real tight-knit community of just a handful of people, just so you guys know. So if you scroll around and there's some things you can look at the title, but you can't see, then 98% of it will be there for everybody. But there might be a 2% that's just for those members, just so you know.
Yukon said, cheers, Gen Extras. Big Red 19, keep it up, is what he said.
There we go.
We have David Hemp. Oh, we have one more. Sorry. Facebook, Cody Lawrence says, what was the wildest things you experienced in Vegas? I know you can't divulge it all just yet.
Well, that was the thing I was trying to tell you. We just wanted to give a 1 hour kind of cliff notes. That's like Gen X mom said, where's all the pictures? We could be here for 4 hours. So these things will come out. Some of them will be public for everyone. A lot of them are going to be for members on Patreon. If you're on Facebook, you got to join the General's Lunchbox. That's just a Facebook page that costs $1. But then I know not every asshole's getting into it. It's just you guys. And that'll come out for you guys on Facebook on the General's Lunchbox. Same on YouTube for the community section, the members only area. There will be a lot that comes out. Plus, when we have our podcast that drops on Friday, I guarantee we're going to be talking about some of the more personal things that happen with everybody out there, which is a lot of fun too.
I have one more. David Hemphill wants to know, when's the next gaming night?
I don't know. We kind of got to get back on track with that a little bit. Right now, I'm so far behind. I've missed 5 days of shows, and we got this one out there, but we're behind on everything. We really faltered the last 10 days of January, so we're really going to put forth a lot of effort in February. Plus, I don't think we have anything big scheduled for an in-person event in February, but March 9th, we'll start talking about it right now. March 9th is another Gen X Talks event. It's in Southern California. It's Two Bears Classic Car Show in Fontana. Yeah, Gen X Mom.
The shoeless one. We met him. That was
did.
great. He gave $5. General, I got 20 questions when I got home. LOL.
I bet you did.
And the Disney Kid member for 20 months. General, you rock as always.
Thanks, man. So we will trickle out more information from Vegas. Things will come out. Let us get back on track with the videos, the 2-minute drills. Let me get the things up to speed we're supposed to. I went through a bunch of emails today. We're getting things back, getting our feet back under us.
And the kid had to go back to school today. We got home yesterday, and he had to get
back and then he's got 10 hours of work he's got to get done tomorrow. So we're going to be scrambling, but we got a lot of interesting things coming up. Some things actually just hit us today in emails, and I made a couple connections back another direction that are really weird and cool all at the same time. But we'll talk to you as things progress with those. But just remember, if you didn't get your gender fluid, if you want to change your gender and you're not sure which gender you are and you want to be, just pop a can, and then it'll change you from one to the other, and it'll work. It'll change you back again. Now, they're not pink and they're not blue. They're gender fluid. The white is a neutral color, so don't forget that. Yeah.
Yukon, Cornelius, $20. Refill the decanter, General. Cheers to all of you members, no matter what level of the society gauge you are on.
That's my man, Yukon Cornelius. All right, listen, I got to go. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Oh, goodbye, everyone. See you soon.
And her microphone is off. Listen, I got to go too. I did make it the full hour. There's just so much to talk about. This was just a quick recap. Like Gen X Mom said, she's like, where's the rest of the pictures? There's a ton, and there's even more stories. We didn't even scratch the surface of what went on there, but it's a lot of fun. Listen, thanks you guys for tuning in. I'm not sure where you're listening in from around the planet, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps along the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember two things, wherever you go, there you are. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side.